Ludwig has a short video with a pretty good take on his Mogul Mail channel. Oh, I'm actually really curious to hear what he has to say.
Hello, how's it going, boys? Welcome back to Mogul Mail. Today, we're talking about Twitch.
Ludwig.
Oh, Ludwig making a Mogul Mail video about Twitch. How new and interesting and exciting. Yeah, I know. I get it. Okay, it's kind of like you looking up your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend's Instagram page. The only difference...
I haven't done that today.
I'm paid to be here. Anyway, they're trending on Twitter today because of a Bloomberg article about changes they're trying to make to their partner program. Changes they're trying to make to become more profitable. All right, it's the key. We'll talk about that later. Let's go over the changes. First one, pretty simple. Incentives for more ads. New tier system.
By the way, I forgot to mention this. I talked to Devin. We'll probably be doing something together about like this more in detail. You guys know how much I like graphs. You know how much Devin likes graphs. And he'll probably come on the show, and we'll talk a little bit more about the future of the website and stuff like that. Probably next week or so. He's doing something this weekend. And so then after that, we're going to do that. Maybe for like an hour or so or whatever. It'll be good. I'm excited. We love graphs.
I just don't really know
After this, if you guys really love graphs, how many of you guys love graphs so much that you want to see me spend 30 minutes telling you how many bots Lost Ark has? Because if you want that, I will give it to you after this. A lot of people have wondered about this, and I will fucking prove it.
But okay. No more exclusivity. Very interesting.
Very interesting.
All right, because right now, if you're a partner, you can only stream on Twitch. This will open up people to being able to stream on Twitch and YouTube.
My best advice for smaller streamers is to stream, not take partnership until you get a lot more popular, and stay as an affiliate. That way, you stay and you keep your you keep your own exclusivity. Right? You don't have exclusivity, and stream on both platforms.
Simultaneously.
Oh, also, I might be in Ludwig's. I was talking to Nick about this. I might be in Ludwig's Fortnite tournament. I've been practicing a little bit off stream, playing a little bit. I might play with Nick on his team.
A lot of people believe, and I do too, is a better way to grow overall. You're just reaching more people. And then the final one is the one I skipped over, which is the new revenue split, 70% to 50%. Now that number is going down, which is bad for creators. And I at first read this and I was like, okay,
that's big
new
bad.
revenue split 70% in just for your guys' understanding. This is for subs, right? So 70% of a $5 sub is $3.50. Most big creators are currently getting that $3.50. Most of them. Some of them aren't, because they kind of stopped giving it out. Like I know Atrioc, for example, has like 5,000-6,000 subs. He gets the plain old 50-50 sub split because they just kind of stopped giving out the better split. So I
think they stopped giving it out too because a lot of people, like, you can still get the split. I mean, but says Disgusto, so for sure these aren't changes. Yeah, we're always talking about hypotheticals, and that's why we're talking about them. I think it's better to talk about hypotheticals in a way than actually propose changes. This way we can get our feedback out there right now so we can hopefully change the course of what's going to happen. You see kind of where I'm coming from here? Wubby has 28K subs and still 50-50. Yeah, that shouldn't be the case. He's got more subs than I do. I've got 27,987. So yeah, I almost have 28K. But you see what I'm saying? Like I don't have a lot either. But like I do have 70-30. I've had it for pretty much ever since I started streaming.
Thought this was something they've already implemented.
That's crazy.
Which is stopping new creators from getting the 50-50 split. But it turns out they're considering taking people who are currently making 70% for every sub and just slicing it down to 50. Which is
hey guys, I'm not trying to bait subs. Like I appreciate everybody that subs. Don't feel like you have to sub. You don't have to give me money. I'm a multimillionaire. If you want to sub with a Twitch Prime or something, I appreciate it, but I don't need your subs. I'm chilling. Just watch the show. Have a good time, guys. Like that's you don't worry about it. Like I make so much money. It's not a big deal. Yeah, that's it. That's why I only sell out for Twitch Prime, you know, like, because that shit's free. If anybody's going to give me money, it's going to be Jeff.
Kind of crazy.
Yeah, take care of yourself, man.
20% pay cut for thousands of streamers. That's a lot of people who are going to be losing a lot of money. Now, it doesn't really affect people like XQC or Miz who are already set. Okay, they've crossed the threshold of I don't care how much you fucking make. It's already too much.
Well, number one, yes, you're totally right about that. But number two, it's also that those people will probably retain their 70-30% because they're in a tier of their own. These are people that are, they're pulling down, 40, 80, 100K viewers a stream, right? They're super fucking popular. Like anybody who's getting over 40,000 viewers a stream, like pretty much ever, like these people are they're operating on a different level of than everybody else, right? It's just as she had 300K last night or yesterday doing Overwatch. Yeah, I saw that. Gamarash with the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're a huge streamer too. Yeah, I'm very popular. You're right. Yes, I'm actually more popular on YouTube. If you count my clips channel and my official channel, I had over 100 million views on YouTube last month. Isn't that crazy? That's a lot.
Bunch of people in the middle though who are just getting kind of slammed. Let's take for example somebody like
a lot,
Coney.
right? Yeah.
Coney is a Smash Ultimate commentator and streamer, and he's like 2,000 subs.
Okay.
You make $250 on it, you walk away with about $5,000.
Well, yeah, that's actually a really good way to look at it, because like this is a good point. Like this is why I said it hurts people in the middle, right? I don't know, but I would say he saw what I said, but like it's common sense. He doesn't need to. Like if you make $350 on 2,000, like let's say 2,000 times 3.5, what is that? That's fucking what is that? Times 3.5, 2,000. That's like 7,000. So that's like 7,000. And then if you take 7,000 and then you take it to 50-50. 50-50 is like, that's only 4,000. Imagine how big of a difference it is. Diaphanous, thank you very much for the 5 good subs. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's 5,000. Sorry, I don't know why. I'm just like, maybe it's in the morning, but like, yeah, it's 5,000. Like you're losing $2,000 a month. That is fucking massive. That is absolutely fucking massive for somebody to lose that much money, man. Like, it's insane. Don't forget the tax. Yeah, you're right. Like, if you include tax in the additional tax bracket, you're really only losing, I don't know, $1,700 a month, right? Like, let's just say, I don't want to get into that. You guys see what I'm saying. It's a tremendous amount of money that people lose that are smaller creators.
Before taxes, the taxes are a little bit higher because you're a contract worker.
Horizon, thanks,
$60K
guys.
a year.
Whitebeard, thanks for your fun.
You get that extra dollar,
Horizon, thanks
right?
a lot.
$250
Whitebeard,
to $350.
thanks a lot.
All of a sudden, you're making $7,000 a month.
Yeah, a lot of people, the 350 split for like a big streamer, like, because like really, I mean, if you have 2,000, 3,000 subs, you're a big streamer. That's the difference between making a 6-figure salary and not. That's fucking huge. Like that's like it's like if you look at that over the course of a year, that's like $20,000. It's tremendous. Could be more than that.
Okay, $84,000 a year. That's looking.
Oh no, poor streamer can't make 6 figures for nothing. Oh no, Jeff Bezos can't make 9 figures for nothing. You understand? Like you're mad that a streamer, if it's for nothing, then just go do it. You'll make the money yourself. If it's so easy, go do it.
Pretty good. All right, that's a juicy payout. That's a
Only
nice
9?
job to have.
Well, those are just his residual earnings
for a lot of creators who are just starting to do this full time. So a lot of people were reasonably upset about this.
Yeah.
And a lot of bigger creators were also kind of annoyed at the ad changes.
I think so too. I'm upset about it. Yeah, I think it's bad for smaller streamers. It's dumb. But what I'm really concerned about more than anything is I'm concerned about how this is going to hurt Twitch on a macro level versus YouTube.
Twitch viewers hate watching ads. It's not ingrained into the culture at all. If you watch a YouTube video, like maybe one of my videos, you might notice there's like a lot of ads, like a lot, like every couple minutes. My bad. But most of you guys don't care.
But that's money, and you know it's fucking money. And so you're going to run it. And the people on YouTube already there's a culture on YouTube that is more accepting of ads than a culture on Twitch. Why is that? It's very simple. It's because ads are not cannibalistic towards the content on YouTube. If you watch an ad on Twitch, you are not watching the content. If you watch an ad on YouTube, you are waiting to watch the content. And also because you can skip them. You're right about that.
And there are studies that show that viewership does not change on YouTube, even with higher ad density. You know, if you run an ad every 5 minutes versus an ad.
Just a minute. I gotta send a message to CatDany. To start running 5 ads every hour for every video. Let's start uploading 10-hour videos. Just repeat the same content. Okay. All right. We're good. Just a second. All right. Yeah. Let's go back.
Every 3 minutes.
I just saw something.
People don't really care because it's ingrained in the culture, and the ads aren't very intrusive. You can just immediately hit the skip button.
Exactly.
And Hassan even talked about this. He said, when I negotiated my contract, I knew this was coming. So I locked in 1 minute of ads per hour. And this is in his bespoke contract because he's a much larger creator.
Yeah.
And he's right. That is a very, very low number. I mean, most people are doing triple, quadruple, even quintuple that amount of ads per.
More than that, even. Like, there are people that have to run six minutes of ads. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, imagine 6 minutes of ads. That's like every 10 minutes, one of those minutes is an ad.
Hour. 1 minute of ad an hour is nothing. I mean, that's a very small amount. And then Pokey tweeted out, IMO, Twitch should implement ads that don't directly interfere with the stream. Sidebar, picture-in-picture, underlay, etc. I understand advertisers are...
We've been asking for that for years. Like, I don't know why they don't do that too. I think they just need better tech for it. I totally agree.
Essential to make a platform profitable, but intervening with the viewer's experience isn't how they should go about it. I agree. Let's take a look. All right, this is incognito tab. Let's just boot up XQC stream. I want my Overwatch 2 drops. Unskippable 30-second ad. Right? You can't see
30 seconds.
30-second ad. That's crazy.
Oh my God.
That's a crazy thing. Especially because most people who watch on desktop are
30
like
seconds.
Around. You know, you're like, okay, what's XQC doing? Overwatch? Well, okay, I'm going to switch over to Mizkiv. And they give you another ad. This is another 30-second ad. Even though I watched 15 seconds of the other one.
You can't get away from it. And it's like also another thing that like Ludwig might not even mention is it's the same fucking ad. It's the same thing. You're watching the same fucking ad again and again and again.
It doesn't matter. I have to watch a full 30-second ad just to switch over to Mizkiv, which is frustrating as hell.
It's
all right,
too much.
And then take this with YouTube, where you have the ad here at the top, and then I want to watch Darman.
My name is Nikki Terranova. I work with United States Veterans.
Hi, Nikki.
I love what I do.
Oh,
and
wow,
that
that's
is
really
no
cool. I don't give a shit.
We can decorate that last.
And now, since I just watched an ad, I can switch to another video. And they won't serve me another ad. Because the way YouTube works is they know how recently they just served you an ad, and they won't serve you back-to-back ads within a minute because
they have a better analytical structure than Amazon does. Amazon, my understanding is AWS, Amazon Web Hosting, is the best web hosting on the planet, but their ads are not. That is not their strong suit.
They know you'll leave the platform if that happens. So they very intentionally check. You just watch an ad, you don't have to watch another one. That's why a creator can't put an ad every 5 seconds. YouTube won't serve those ads even if they're meant to be there by the creator. Twitch doesn't have that technology yet, which makes it really frustrating. And it makes me pay $9 a month for Twitch Turbo, which if you don't know is basically like their YouTube Premium. It's their ad-free service. Paying $9 for a goddamn ad blocker because I can't get it to work on my mobile phone. I tried to jailbreak it, didn't work. And it's crazy. And it's crazy. And it makes sense. It makes sense because, look, Twitch loses a lot of money. This is their revenue over the past 5 years. And in 2020, they made $2.3 billion, which is pretty good. And in advertising revenue, they made $750 million. Not bad,
pretty good.
Right? That was one of the biggest growths they had, and it was during COVID-19. Obviously, a lot more people watching Twitch.
Right.
YouTube that same year, $120 billion.
I think that's a bit more. So that's like the same number except there's 2 zeros behind it? Huh. That is a lot more. That's way more, isn't it? Oh my God. Yeah, it's just the same number except there's a couple zeros behind it. Ain't that something?
So we're
even with Twitch Prime, you get ads. Back in the day, like way back in the day, you used to not get ads if you had Twitch Prime. Like if you Twitch Prime to somebody's stream, you wouldn't get ads. And then they got rid of it like 2018, late 2017, something like that. Who remembers that? Anybody
really
remember
in
that?
the same ballpark. But
Yeah.
the bigger problem is how much money Twitch is hemorrhaging. I mean, they are burning through money. They have hundreds of engineers who they hire, full-time people, and paying staff is not cheap. What products have Twitch released in the past 6 months to a year that these engineers are working on? Why do you have so many engineers?
Well, we had the thing where if you watch an ad, you have to watch another ad. And so that took the people that worked there, it took them a year to do. And like this year, they're going to have it to where like if you watch an ad and then you watch another ad, you have to watch another ad after that.
It's so bloated and nothing comes out for 9 months. And I've spoken to a lot of high up product managers at Twitch, and they have great ideas. They're smart people.
They are.
But it's impossible to get them through. They're not really working like a well-oiled machine. And that's not to even talk about how much money they're losing with Twitch Prime.
I think also, like, yeah, Twitch Prime for sure. Because, like, every Twitch Prime that they pay out, think about it, right? Every Twitch Prime is a minus 3.5 or a minus 2.5 on Twitch's fucking accounting. Like, that's every single one. And that's a lot of fucking money, man. Also, if you get something, yeah, there's a lot, man. It is.
Are you kidding me? I mean, Twitch Prime's amazing, and it immediately made a lot more people
able to make a living.
Sub count explode and be able to go full time and better content came.
It's good,
but they lose money on that, right? And you can say marketing expense over and over and over, but eventually you have to prove it to the big dogs. Twitch will have to prove to Amazon that these marketing expenses and us losing millions, if not tens of millions of dollars every month is actually good. This is good for you. And eventually, Amazon won't want to hemorrhage money. They will want to turn profitability. Like,
I think that's what's happening now. If you want me to be totally honest, I think that's why this is happening. Like, the reason why these problems are occurring is because of Amazon seeing Twitch not making a lot of money, seeing Twitch not returning this revenue, and then that's what happens. That's what, like, these things are happening because of that. Because, like, you're right. I think that Twitch, a lot of people at Twitch, like, there hasn't been a lot of innovation with streams in the past, like, 2 years. Like, there have been small things where, like, if somebody runs an ad, sometimes you get, like, the ad is the full screen, and then, like, it basically, like, the stream turns into, like, me, where the ad is Ludwig. You see what I'm saying, right? You guys had, the picture-in-picture thing happen? Like, there's that, hype trains, there's that, let's see. Why should there be? Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, yeah, there's that. It's muted. Yeah, it's muted too. So, like, it's still fundamentally cannibalistic, but, like, you can make an argument that it is slightly better. It's like 20% better. But Summit Stream does that. Yeah, I've seen that. The point system. I think channel points are a great idea. Like, Twitch having channel points into predictions and polls and stuff like that, that is a universal W by Twitch. Great fucking idea. Whoever thought of that, I hope they're in charge of more things in the future. However, there's a lot of things that happen that are just really not that useful to an average content creator. And they're not really helping advance the website or innovate the website.
Like all Silicon Valley companies must eventually do is at least have a game plan to be profitable. And that's, the same problem that companies like Netflix and Uber are currently struggling with. And the difference is this is not a public company that has to report to shareholders and, maybe can stick around a little longer. They have to report to Amazon. So if Amazon
That's worse.
One day comes down and is upset and it's Jeff Bezos and he's just fuming and going, Twitch has to respond,
by the way.
and they have to have some plan. And I think that's why they've made all these changes. That's why they want more ads for every streamer, because ads are a more scalable way for profitability. That's why they want to reduce the amount of money they're blowing and losing on subscribers. And maybe there's a day where they remove Twitch Prime. They know internally that doing that is like...
I don't think they're going to remove Twitch Prime. I feel like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Is this going to happen in 10 years or something like this? Fuck. Like, maybe it will. But, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. They have to? I don't really think so.
Fire bells.
I feel like Twitch Prime not removing ads probably makes it to where it's not a minus 3.5, it's maybe a minus 1.
Ringing, this is okay with the little dog sitting around fire meme. It wouldn't go over well. And I'll leave you off with this. Hey, nothing like my boss Lester coming in here. This is one of the heads of gaming.
This is the exact tweet that I
lots coming to YouTube Gaming next 2 weeks. Also, PSA, YouTube's rev share across fan funding features, supers memberships, remains 70-30.
Isn't that interesting? What
now, I'll admit that
yeah.
I do think that right now, if you're a new creator and you don't get a deal from a platform, Twitch has a lot more to offer just in discoverability. Even though it's not the best discoverability platform, it's still better than YouTube gaming. Because Lord knows when I go to youtube.com and I scroll down here, like I always do, scroll down on the left and click live, this, oh, whoops. This isn't great. This isn't the greatest thing of all time, right? Like Nora
Ludwig's on contract. Non-disparagement clause. I'm not. It's fucking garbage. It's absolute trash. It is probably the worst thing I've seen ever. Mixer was better than this. And Mixer is in the toilet. If YouTube was built around live streaming, it would be in the dumpster. Fix it tomorrow.
Jones, why are they?
Joke.
This is one human. Okay, there's Doc. That's someone who should be in like the like-minded group of streamers, of gaming streamers that I should.
There's like no
watching.
categories or anything.
But it's impossible. It's all a mess. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna wait here for this Jake Paul stream.
Oh, thank God.
And hang out with Janice in Colton. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, boys. If you haven't, can you subscribe? All right. We keep getting more viewers on videos than we have subscribers, and it would be cool if the number went up because it makes me feel good. And that's all. See you guys next time. All right. Goodbye.
That's a good video. I agree with pretty much everything he said. I mean, I do. I think this is going to be a good thing. I'll link the video for you guys. I think this is Ludwig's other channel. I was going to watch this and talk about this too.
He's like, that's interesting. He's like, what if the rules were like a little more lax? You know, like what if Twitch was in a way where like, you know, there was a Twitch After Dark section where you could just like it was very understood that this was targeted towards an adult like category, and you were able to do that. And I was like, that would be sick. Like that would be huge for me. He's like, that's interesting. And he was like asking me all these questions like, yeah, you know, because we could make it so we don't have this yet, but we could make it possibly so that we could separate the advertising. So if people don't want to advertise on like adult level streams, they can choose to opt out and stuff like that. And I was like, interesting.
I don't think this is going to happen.
I mean, it wasn't.
I don't think this is going to happen at all. I think there is a 0% chance of this happening. The reason for that is that if somebody says something, yeah, there's no shot. Like I really don't think so. I think whoever thought this was a good idea, Twitch, is totally wrong. Like, I'm not going to be rude. Totally fucking wrong. So number one, what is the stuff that's going to make the company look bad? You know, what really is it? It's going to be things that are edgy and things that are sexual, right? So if you have people talking about Twitch and somebody doing porn or something like that, gambling, well, that's happening already. And like you could argue sexual stuff is happening already too, but you see generally what I'm saying, right? And in general, I think things that are politically incorrect, yeah, they're not going to care. It's not like the advertisers are going to be like, oh, well, it happened. Like, for example, a lot of times whenever people get in trouble, like PewDiePie or like whatever, PewDiePie, right? Whenever the bridge thing happened, right? He lost sponsors for this. And it's not because he was actively promoting those sponsors at the exact moment that the bridge thing happened. He just lost them because they don't want to be involved with that, period. The advertisers, it doesn't matter if you're directly advertising their stuff at the exact moment that the things are occurring. They don't want to have their content on a platform that has this on there to begin with. So this is what happened with YouTube, for example. So YouTube had like all of these like weird pedo bait videos and stuff like this, right? For like kids to watch, and it was like creepy, weird shit. And the ads were not on these videos in many regards. Many times they were not even on these videos. It's not like the advertisers were on these videos, but they just didn't want to be on a website that provided a platform for this kind of content. And I think that's what the real issue with this stuff is that whenever you're talking about brands like McDonald's, brands like, like a lot of these like different movie companies, etc., they don't want to have their, Elsagate, look that up. Actually, don't. Just take my word for it that it was really creepy and weird, and YouTube had to crack down on a lot of stuff. Just don't look that up. Take my word for it. It's just disgusting. So anyway, this is kind of what happens, and I think this is really fucking weird. Exactly, in a separate service. Exactly. Yes, you need a separate service. It's like Patreon, for example, does not allow like porn. Now, obviously, there are girls that take lewd photos on there, and I'm sure some of them take nude photos on there, but there have been plenty of girls that have been removed from Patreon because of that. And so you have like sexual content, but you don't have porn. And like, where is that line drawn? I think it's on like nudity and like, the focus of like content, etc. It does allow porn. It allows porn now. It used to not allow it. Am I wrong about this? Yeah, it used to not allow it. It's changed. Twitter allows porn. Yes, it does. It does now for sure. Okay, Patreon has porn games. Bad example then. Bad fucking example. Okay, I guess that's not the case. But in general, this is what I'm saying, is I don't think Twitch is ever going to do this because it will tangentially make the content that the advertisers are advertising on, it will link them to it. So like if an article comes out about somebody saying something that's like very politically incorrect, or somebody saying something that is, doing something that's like very sexual or whatever, it's going to say Twitch TV. It's not going to say Twitch TV After Dark. They're not going to say, oh, yeah, but it happened at 11:30, so like you can't get mad about it. Like that's not how the advertisers are going to look at it. And in my opinion, I think advertisers are total fucking pussies. I wish these companies would have more of a backbone, because the fact is, if none of the companies put up with their bullshit, the advertisers wouldn't be able to put their bullshit out there in the first place, because they still have to advertise their products. And if nobody's putting up with their bullshit, then they just have to take what they can get. To be honest with you, I fucking hate that shit. I think it's annoying, but that's the world that we live in, and that's why I think it's not going to happen. That's what it comes down to. Time zones wreck this idea. That's a great point. I never thought of that. Yeah, I literally never thought of that. Cartoon Network and Adult Swim. You're right about that. But Adult Swim didn't really feature content. It featured adult content, but it didn't feature adult content. You see what I'm saying? And like also like what content was really on Adult Swim back in the day? Aqua Teen Hunger Force, fucking like Full Metal Alchemist, Ghost in the Shell, Evangelion, fucking Space Ghost, Robot Chicken, like all this stuff, right? Boondocks, like, yeah, I mean, Boondocks was a little bit edgy, like, for sure, but like the other stuff, for sure, like, it's not really like, this isn't stuff that like advertisers don't really want to be associated with. It's just that, this is like just more adult content, right? That's all there is. But I like Boondocks a lot. I thought it was a good show. And saying half Aqua Teen Hunger Force, have the shit Aqua Teen Hunger Force get you banned on Twitch. I mean, like, not really, but like also it was a product of its time, right? So like there's some things you can say then you can't say now, and that's just the way the world works. I don't agree with it. I'm just saying that's what it is. So yeah, advertisers are too busy trying to pander to Victorian morality. I think it's just that advertisers are too busy trying to pander to the people who talk to them, because the fact is that advertisers don't really care one way or another. They just don't want to be involved in drama. That's literally it. They don't have like some massive like ideology behind this. They're not trying to, change the world with, making certain kinds of, like stuff like that. They're not trying to change the world. They're just trying to get their stuff out there without having it be full of a bunch of bullshit. Does that make sense? Yeah, the Karens writing letters, and like the advertisers freak out about this, but they don't realize that like these Karens writing letters are like 0.1% of the population, and nobody else out there cares about this at all. So that's all it is. Borderlands in general, more slip-ups will happen where nudity was intended after night. Yeah, exactly. Amazon owns Twitch, this will never happen. Yeah, I think so. There's a lot of platforms that already have sexual content. Real Sex, Taxi Cab Confessions, and Cat House. Yeah, exactly. And like this kind of stuff is just I feel like advertisers are much more, maybe I don't really know how it was back in the 90s or the 2000s, because I was a kid then, but like it seems like advertisers are much more pussies nowadays, to be honest with you. They want nothing to hurt their bottom line. They would rather stay miles away from the edge. Exactly. And unfortunately this is the case. I think that for all content creators, you should never rely on sponsorship or advertising, because you never know whenever they're going to just decide that, you know, something that you said that got taken out of context, or something that you did got taken out of context, or something like, you know, like let's say you live in Russia or something like this, and you know, you just have like all of your advertisers for your stream drop you because you're in Russia. So it's like literally nothing that you did, it like has nothing to do with you, but you just get dropped like that. You just get punished because you're part of another larger group. So you don't want to you don't want to be part of this. Try to be directly funded by your audience. I think anybody who's directly funded by their audience is truly free. If you have people and you have your own like subscribers, members, whatever you want to call it, you're able to sell merchandise, sell a product, that's whenever you're truly free. You can have advertisers beyond that and make more money, that's great, but you don't have to rely on them. And I think that's what the difference is. Now, obviously, you can still get banned from platforms and nobody's ever really free. Yeah, sure. But like, you see what I'm kind of saying, right? I think that makes sense. Unless you get canceled by your own audience. Who's really ever gotten canceled by their own audience whenever they kept making the same content? Because I think that never really happens. Like, nobody ever really got canceled by their own audience. H3, yeah, but people said that he got really sanctimonious, right? They said he was like always talking about political issues and like being you know, upset about them. So it was a change in personality that caused this. Well, let's see some more of them. Quinn, people still watch Quinn. They love Quinn. His audience didn't ban him. Twitch did. Arcadem. I think Arcadem is a good example. I feel like, yes, maybe Arcadem is a good example. In my opinion, the only way that you can get canceled by your own audience is if you do something that is counter to your public image. So, like, for example, if they caught, let me think of somebody, Hassan saying the N-word in private, it would be bad for him. But if they caught Keemstar saying that, I think it would just be Wednesday. You know what I mean? Like, that's really what the reality is, because people already expect that of him. People already think he's an asshole. So this isn't counteracting. Like, if Keemstar was actually secretly, you know, doing a bunch of like social justice stuff, I think that would give him a higher chance of being canceled than if he said the N-word. To be honest with you, I do, because people that watch him think like that and they act like that. That's the facts. And I think that's why people get canceled. Yeah. And that's what Pro Jared, yeah, but Pro Jared, that was a complicated one. Yeah, that's what it is. People are probably gonna clip you, make a hate threat on Hassan. No, because he's banned on LSF, so they can't do that. So that won't be an issue. Luckily, but you guys see what I'm saying, though. You see what I'm saying? What about people who want to advertise condoms or similar products? VR chat would make perfect market for those ads. Well, this is the thing that a lot of content creators should realize, and I didn't realize. I talked to Mike from what's his name? The name's weird. Impulsive. Mike Malajek. And he said for every blue chip sponsor, you've got 17 other guys that are trying to sell dick pills that'll give you the same amount of money. Okay, so just swallow your pride, sell your dick pills, and do your edgy content. Okay, yeah, that's the fact. Because he's right. He absolutely is. Like, every single one of these, like, crazy people has sponsors, and it's, like, all these, like, weird stuff. It's like, okay, if you buy these special seeds and plant them, it'll grow into a garden that you can live under whenever the nuclear holocaust happens, or something like this. Just absolute crazy shit, man. Yeah, no one using Twitch needs condoms. That's true too. Zillion OP, remember him? Well, yeah, but again, he changed his public appearance, and so like people thought that he was in a wheelchair, and then that changed. It's the same thing people said. Greek changed. Now I think that obviously a lot of that was bullshit, but in general, that's what people think, and so it's about living up to what your audience has an expectation for. I think that's really what it is. And that's not freedom, though, right? Well, that's what I said before. Nobody's ever really free, right? I mean, of course, obviously, you know, you've got people that are going to want to watch you for certain things. It's kind of like with me. Whenever I decided, like, I don't want to go and, you know, be like this, like, weird community organizer for, like, video game ethics and stuff like this. Some people got mad at me. They said, wow, you're giving up and, you know, you suck now. We hate you. And like, obviously, like some people get upset about that. Sure. But like, you have to move forward. And I think that if you want to change your content at all, you're going to have to expect to have some level of churn whenever you have some people that aren't happy with what you're doing and you have other people that are. That's just the way things go, guys. That's life. If you're free, if your life does depend on other people liking you, yeah, but like it always does to an extent. Like I don't know, like I mean, maybe if you're like a Tibetan monk, it doesn't. But you see what I'm saying. I think that like trying to go for some absolutist approach to things is usually something that's easily countered by logic in a few seconds. However, I think that we should talk about common sense and just like what really makes sense, right? What does this mean functionally in everyday society, rather than some ultimate idea that's like a philosophy. True fan is being able to deep throw the microphone for a couple of bucks. Oh, they make way more than that, okay? Let's be honest. Are you going to ask about heritage armor sets for the rest of classes? I hope that I didn't put that on there, right? I think that's a kind of... I want to ask more big picture questions. But yeah, obviously, I would want to ask that too. Sure. If I have time at the end, I'll maybe tack on a few things like that. Sure. Let's see here. But being aware of those limitations can be beneficial? Absolutely. So anyway, there's a few other things that how do you know Mike? I was on a podcast with him. I was. He was the only person who was talking more than I was. I was impressed. Yeah, so that's how I know. It was actually during whenever Aiden Ross first came on Twitch, it was like me. It was just all the guys on Scuff Podcast from back in the day, right? So like, it was like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, something like that. Sure. And I think I mirror your feelings, do what's true to your heart. Exactly, yeah. And you've got to obviously exchange. And there have been times where people do that and they lose. It's like kind of, you know what a good example of this is, like streaming, right? You have people that like a lot of times, how many people do you know have talked about like going into variety streaming and having a lot of trouble with it because a lot of their audience doesn't want to stick around? You see what I'm saying? So like in an abstract way, that's kind of the same point that I'm making. You see what I'm saying? Like, yeah, that's kind of the same point that I'm making. And it's 10:45. Yeah. So it's 10:45 and it's going to be at 3. So you can do the math. So yeah, League of Legends streamers, WoW streamers, I've had this problem before. I've talked about it many times. So I think that a lot of people have this issue, and it's difficult to do. And so I think this is the same thing, where people have like an expectation of you for a certain kind of content, and then you start doing another kind of content and it's better. However, I think that, like, for example, this is a very different example, but like sometimes it's beneficial to do different content. So like, for example, remember whenever Machine Gun Kelly used to be a rapper? Nobody gave a fuck about him. But then Eminem effectively ended his rap career and did him the best fucking favor that you could ever do somebody. It gave Machine Gun Kelly, like, now he's got multiple top 40 songs. He's doing incredibly well, making totally different music. So that's actually sometimes good to move away from what you're doing and do something else. So evolving is not always a bad thing. But overall, I think that's, yeah, it dates Megan Fox too, exactly. And so that's what it is. He's going back to rap. Well, yeah, I mean, I think he'll probably try it out again, sure. But, like, you know, it might not see as much success as you will with, like, the punk pop type stuff, right? And Bloody Valentine's a good fucking song. Yeah, I actually think he makes good music. Like, I do. I know it's popular to hate on things that are popular, but I think he's a good musician. He's a good artist, man. And so, yeah, Eminem did say he had to give you a career to destroy it. There you fucking go. And so, anyway, I think that it's not always a bad case, and there are a lot of other people that have, like, moved into doing other things, and it's been incredibly helpful and incredibly lucrative. You know, you look at, like, Elon Musk going from, like, doing PayPal to, like, Tesla or SpaceX or something like that. And now we're seeing Twitter. Where's that going to go? We're not sure. But, you know, time will tell. So it's always a good thing to try to evolve, but it's also never a good thing to do it in a way that's not measured and in a direction that you're confident in. So that's the way I look at it. Yeah, wrestlers became movie actors. Well, I mean, to be fair, they were kind of doing the same thing already, but yeah. Let's look at a few things on Reddit. I didn't do this yesterday because I just simply didn't do this yesterday. So we've got a lot of stuff to talk about and a lot of stuff to look into. You didn't do PayPal? I thought Elon Musk was involved in PayPal. Am I wrong about that? Yeah, I thought Elon Musk played an integral role in PayPal. The idea, it doesn't matter like how involved he was. Like, you see the idea, it's not like he went from one financial service to another one. He went to a completely different industry, and he was successful in that too. And that's my point that I'm making. It has nothing to do with PayPal or Tesla fundamentally. So let's look over here. Given all the discussion around revenue split and Twitch being complacent with another negative side effect of watching VADs on Twitch, Well, here's a really simple question, okay? And this is something, Twitch, please listen. Please listen to this, Twitch. If you don't have exclusivity, why the fuck is somebody gonna watch Twitch whenever they could watch somebody streaming the exact same content on YouTube with better video quality, no in-video ads, and in general, better bandwidth and more stability? Why would somebody ever do this? If you literally present, like, you have two identical things, you are presenting the exact same product twice, and one product is in 480p and the other product is in 1080p. Unless you want to watch a classic WoW video and you want to get nostalgic about it, you're going to watch the 1080p one. That's just the facts. Chat sucks. Chat is not as important as people think it is. Do you know how I know? Because most people don't chat. It's not as important as people think it is. Of course, the people in chat think that it's important. Wouldn't that make sense? Wouldn't that make sense, guys, that the people in chat think that it's important? Okay, so here's the facts, right? Is that I think that chat is about the reason why about 25% of people watch Twitch. And they enjoy the chat and the community aspect, but the other 75%, and let's not get mired down in the numbers here. Maybe it's 60-40, maybe it's 70-30, maybe it's 80-20. Like, I don't really know, but I think the majority of people don't really care that much about chat. Like, the amount of emotes and things like this in the chat do not really improve the quality of the experience for them, and if they weren't watching that, it wouldn't really matter. Look at somebody like Dr. Disrespect. You're not going to watch Dr. Disrespect for the chat. Oh, wow, he finished a game with Shroud, and they're spamming firm handshakes again. Amazing. This is incredible. How could this ever possibly happen? You know, it doesn't matter. So there's a lot of people who chat matters more for, though. However, I want to say this exists on a spectrum. So, for example, a streamer like me, I'm about, like, probably, I don't know, I'm kind of in the middle, because I read chat a lot, I interact with chat a lot, so it makes it more complex. But you watch somebody like Forzen, and a big appeal is the chat. You watch somebody like Old Greek, a big appeal is the chat. You watch somebody like Old Mitch, and even Mitch now to an extent is the chat. But you watch somebody like Doc, somebody like Shroud, somebody like maybe Nick Merckx. I'm trying to think of some other people. A lot of these people, they don't actually, E-Rob, chat is a big part of the content. A lot of these people, like, chat is not part of their stream, and it's just something that exists simultaneously. Does that make sense? So, like, yeah, some people are going to stick around for that, but I think that's the minority of streams. If you want me to be totally honest with you, I think that the amount of, like, super involved, like, super users on Twitch is it's like maybe 20-30% of the audience. And everybody else, if they have an option to watch something either on YouTube or on Twitch, they're going to choose YouTube. Because YouTube has a chat, it's just not as good. And also, that's a lot easier to solve than a business model. Like, Twitch's business model is fucked. Because if you're making people watch ads in the middle of a stream, that is going to make them leave the stream. That's going to frustrate them, and it is inherently cannibalistic. It is much easier to fix a chat experience than it is to fix a fucking business model. Like, let's be honest. So YouTube is making a better on that. Well, let me see if I can find the clip. A guy that it's the new guy that runs YouTube Gaming was talking about this yesterday. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah, there we go. Take a look at this, guys. So this is a comment made by the guy who's running YouTube, global head of gaming creators. Lots coming in YouTube Gaming in the next 2 weeks. Also, PSA, the YouTube's rev share across funding features, i.e. supers and memberships, remains 70-30. What a convenient thing to mention right now. And our YouTube partner program doesn't require any form of content exclusivity. In my opinion, I think that if Twitch doesn't require exclusivity, people will migrate off the platform very quickly. I think that they will because of the ad experience and the fact that it's cannibalistic towards the content. Now, if YouTube implements the same thing, I still think that people are going to stay on YouTube instead because YouTube has built up a, they in general, like the ads on YouTube aren't that much louder than the videos, right? Like there's little things like that. And also, I just think the YouTube video player is better. Like, straight up. Like, if we're gonna watch like a big event or something like that, I pull it up on YouTube instead of Twitch because it's just a more stable player. There's less lag, there's better quality. It's just a better player in every regard. So why would somebody go to Twitch and watch something on Twitch unless that's the only place that they can see it on? And that's honestly the facts. So if Twitch is going to drop the exclusivity thing, they really need to rethink their entire business model, because all they're doing whenever they're dropping exclusivity is saying to a lot of people, you might as well watch it on YouTube at this point. You guys see what I'm saying? Twitch app is better now? Yeah, I think Twitch app is definitely better now. Yeah, it absolutely is. But like also like pre-rolls on Twitch are like usually longer than pre-rolls on YouTube. Creators have less control over them. So like you have some people that, you know, they get a pre-roll. Like for example, like if I get a pre-roll and I'm watching a new streamer, a person I've never seen before, I just go and watch somebody else because it's a barrier to entry. Like you guys ever had this happen? You're on your phone, you're on the Twitch app, right? And let's say you don't have ad block, and you open up a stream and it plays an ad and you close it and you go back to YouTube, or you go to Twitter or something like that. It's like, yeah. Think about how many people they lose because of that. Right? That happens a lot. Ad 1 of 8, unskippable. Well, that's because the streamer's playing it themselves. That's very different. But just in general, I think this is a huge problem that Twitch is going to have. And I think Twitch is being too complacent about it. And simultaneously saying that, you know, like, oh, we're going to cut down your revenue, etc. I think this is a very, very worrying thing. International ads are much more fleshed out and better on YouTube. Yeah, I've heard the same thing, actually. And also, the reason why they're better on YouTube, this is like more tech stuff, so like I'm not going to get into this too much. But Google AdSense, there's a reason why people thought Google was going to take over the world. And people still think it will. The reason is because they are really fucking good at what they do. Google AdSense and Google Analytics is the best analytical program in the world. It just simply is. Like Amazon, the Amazon analytics and algorithms for ads are not even in the same universe as Google. They're very good and they're getting better, but it's like, it's like a car next to a tank. You see what I'm saying? Like Google is just, the AdSense is state of the art. It's the best that there is. So yeah, keep that in mind. It's the same with mobile games. Ad plays, close game. Exactly. And so browsing streams on YouTube needs to be better. You're exactly right. And I think that they should work on that too. It's better for all of the content creators on Twitch and YouTube and the viewers if there's a healthy competition between the two platforms, because I do think that competition to a degree does breed excellence, and I think that a lot of positive things happen. I think the best example that I can give you of competition breeding excellence and being positive for the consumer is back whenever, remember Xbox One came out with a bunch of consumer unfriendly practices, like you couldn't resell games, like it had to be always connected to the internet, and you had to have a webcam on it, right? Sony comes out and they say, we're not doing that. And Xbox could not compete in the market because Sony would not do that. So they had to go back and adopt their previous consumer-friendly practices because their competitors will drive them out of the market if they don't. So that's a good example that I can give you of how that happens and why that happens. Yeah, Sony, ever since then, I bought PlayStations. I'm going to be honest with you. I have. Like, it's not like I hate Xbox. I love Xbox. I'm the biggest Halo fan. Like, I say that, I've never even played Halo Infinite, right? I've been so busy doing other stuff. But I used to be the biggest Halo fan. Like, I like Xbox. I'm super happy that, like, Microsoft bought Blizzard Activision. Absolutely. But, like, I don't know. Like, PS3 is just PS3, PS4, PS5. It's just a better product. That's all there is to it. And so yeah, that's all it comes down to. So yeah, I think this is going to definitely hurt Twitch if they decide to get rid of exclusivity. It really will. PlayStation 5's model sucks too. No backwards compatibility. I don't know the details for that, so I don't want to get into that right now. But let's see what some people think about this. PS3 is not better than the 360. PS3 did play Blu-ray, but I'll give you that. Yeah, I think the transition happened in PS4 and PS5. Sure, I think that it's much more arguable. I think, yeah, PS4 is superior to Xbox One, and I think that the PS5 is generally, like, really, really good. I think my PS5 is really good. So, yeah, PS2, and yeah, PS2 is the greatest console of all time. Like, even though, like, my favorite console was Super Nintendo. Like, let's be honest, because that's what I grew up on. PlayStation 2 is fucking numerically the greatest console of all time, and there's nothing even remotely close. That's all there is to it. PS2 was king for nearly 10 years. Think about that. It's unreal. Like, it had a DVD player whenever most people didn't. It still used VCR. It was ridiculous, man. Let's see here. YouTube gang, there it is. I was about to say the other one. For me, as a non-sub, answering other streams don't bother me as much as streamers have control over it, except you get pre-rolls sometimes. If the streamer has gone too long without running them, streamers usually have to run them only whenever they get up for food or bio. However, ads for VODs can go burn in hell. They're always right at hype points, and I completely agree with the guy on this point. Isn't that part of the bad, not the good? Streamers usually run whenever they don't have to. Click on your favorite streamer, it loads and you see 8 ads, so you wait for them to finish, and then you see a streamer still AFK, so you click another streamer, get 1 minute of ad, and then you watch it, and then the streamer is currently just talking about Thai food instead of playing the game, despite being in the game category. So then you click on another streamer, and you get no ad. The streamer dies to a boss, says it's been an hour, and begins rolling 8 ads. At this point, you spend 5 more minutes just trying to find something you can put on your second monitor without having to pay attention to it anyway. So you open up YouTube and watch the first 1 hour video of a dude eating street food in China. It happened to me so many times already. True. I love this fucking comment. This is great. Like, you just can't get away from it, man. It's awful. Yeah, ads suck, but it doesn't help how Twitch does ads. I think that ads, the thing is that, in my opinion, I don't think ad block is a solution to the ad problem. Because I do think that ad block will eventually stop working. Like, I know people say, oh, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. There is a multi-billion-dollar industry that is vested heavily in making this happen. They will make it happen, guys. Like, they will make it happen. It's going to happen. And that's all there is to it. Now, obviously, it's going to be a little bit different, but it already has. Yes, it's already started happening. And there's already been, there's a Black Mirror episode about this, and apparently some executives saw that and thought it was a good idea. And now they're having a thing that might track your eyeballs to make sure that you're actually watching an ad whenever the ad plays. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. And just keep this in mind. This is only step 1 or 2. What does step 5 look like? I don't even want to know. But like, what I'm saying is that I feel like we should talk about which ads are good and which ads are bad, rather than all ads are bad or all ads are good, because I don't think that people will have a chance to choose all or nothing in the future. That's what I think is going to happen. Fuck that. There will always be people, and this is what's going to happen, right? There will always be people that will be able to subvert the ads. But those people and the barrier to entry to doing that will become larger and larger and larger. Do you see what I'm saying? So, like, yes, obviously you can still do it if you want to invest a lot of time into this, but doing that will take so much more time. Obviously, there will always be maybe some way that you can avoid them or something like that. But, like, are you willing to download an add-on? Are you willing to download a program? Are you willing to download a registry edit? Are you willing to download, an exe file and like, have it running in the background on your computer, right? Like, what level are you willing to do on a computer? And like, also, whenever you guys say yes, who watches the watchers? Who watches the watchers? I don't know, guys. Like, like, especially a registry edit file, like, I don't think I would do that. I would rather watch an ad. I would rather watch an ad than download a registry edit file from a fucking random third-party ad blocking service, because who knows what they're gonna do with your stuff? They have less accountability. So yeah, that stresses me out too. Absolutely, Asmongold. Well, it's not that I'm not afraid, but yeah, I mean, of course, I think that if you get to that level, it's gonna happen. Open source stuff, though, you never know what's going to happen. And all I'm really saying is that I do think that ads in the future will be unskippable. I think in one way or another, and it could be in a way that we have not even imagined yet. This is something that we don't even know has happened yet, but I think it really will. I think that a lot of people are saying no because they don't want it to be true, not because they don't think it will be true. That's what my opinion is. I think that many people are just saying no because they're like, well, I don't want this to be true. It's not true. And that's it. No, look at history. Yeah, exactly. That's my point. And Neuralink, yeah, that's not going to be for 50 more years, man. Interactive ads are unskippable, and I think that might happen, man. Fads are unskippable and never watch Twitch again. Yeah, but then what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to YouTube? What happens whenever YouTube does the same thing? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and then, so what are you gonna do? You're gonna go back to reading books? I mean, you're gonna go back to playing video games? So there's ads in video games now too. Imagine that. Like, you guys have seen this before? Like, there are ads now being put in video games? Like, you're just like, basically, you're like, the island that you're living on outside of ads is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. You know, that's about it. Retro only? Well, I think that, yeah, obviously you'll still have ways to do that, but if you want to participate in popular culture and consume anything new, this is what's going to happen. So unless you want to be stuck in 1995, which, to be honest with you, I wish I was, you know, you're going to have to accept this to a certain degree. And again, I don't like ads. You guys know I never run ads on my stream. I don't. I don't run ads. I could make I could probably make millions of dollars a year if I ran ads on my stream consistently. But the reason why I don't do it is because my viewers don't like it, and I think it would in general hurt the stream. And I'd rather just not do it. That's all there is to it. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. I run them at the end of my stream, non-stop whenever I'm basically ending. That's what I do at the end, and that's it. And Hassan does. That's because Hassan's under contract to do it. And Hassan also negotiated for the minimum amount too. So that's important to keep in mind.